So it is like Sister Wives premiere Eve, I don't know how many Eves, and we are counting down, obviously not well, to the premiere of season 17 of Sister Wives. I want to go back a couple days because I want to revisit the ridiculous teaser that TLC put out where Kody claims that the reason for his feelings of betrayal by Christine is because she never tried to parent Robyn's children.
That statement makes me want to scream.
Viewers eye rolled so hard at this clip. I've already talked about this clip in a video. Additionally, every kid that has grown up being watched by Christine raves about how amazing Christine is. They absolutely adore her. However, there have been moments caught on camera of Robyn lashing out at her non-biological kids. And if that had been Christine, well, Kody definitely would have been having a conversation with her about her behavior. Let's discuss. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Sarah and welcome back to my channel. So it seems like TLC is establishing, or Kody is establishing, that his reasons for why his marriage has turned so sour towards Christine is that she was talking about leaving him to the other wives and she never tried to parent Robyn's kids. Well, we've disproven that she never tried to parent Robyn's kids because there's actually a clip, and we watched the clip of her confronting Robyn about why she chose to go with outside childcare instead of coming to her. Robyn brought in a nanny, which I've said before is completely her prerogative to do so. But Kody wants to get mad at Christine for how much parenting of Robyn's kids she didn't do, which is obviously ridiculous, because how much parenting of Robyn's kids was Robyn doing? And it's not to say that if you have a nanny or childcare, that means you're not parenting. My child has gone to daycare and now she's in preschool, but she's gone to daycare since she was 6 months old. So I am not slamming anybody for getting help or having to do what you have to do when you have to work full time. But with that being said, Robyn's kids had two parents, Robyn and Kody. Why on earth is Christine getting slammed for not parenting Robyn's kids when they have two parents in the picture plus a nanny? Like I said, it's not Robyn having outside childcare that irks me. It's the fact that there is a total double standard when it comes to the other women. And I think the common theme I'm seeing in all these teasers that are being put out ahead of the premiere is that Kody and Robyn have really selective memories. And that's a bit odd considering that their lives have been depicted on TV for the last decade plus. So we can literally point to scenes, replay those scenes that disproves what Kody and Robyn are now claiming. So claiming that Christine never wanted to parent Robyn's kids, that was super easy to disprove. In the beginning, when Robyn came into the family, Christine was actually really open and honest about the fact that she had a hard time warming up to Robyn.
It's a peace offering because my treatment of her has not been accepting and welcoming in the least. I would blame her for being Kody's favorite wife. I mean, having favorites is not okay. This is kind of a, hey, I welcome Solomon as my son, and I promise to be better. And so this is just for her for that.
But there actually were many times where Christine tried to extend a sort of olive branch to Robyn. I think most of us can sympathize with Christine and understand that if you are pregnant, about to give birth to your sixth child, and your husband is courting a girlfriend, you might not be that receptive to her. Kody courting Robyn at this particular point in time was inopportune, to say the least. I mean, you cannot control when a baby's due, but you know, Kody did once wait for a girl to turn 18 before he officially proposed to her. So methinks that he and Robyn could have waited a few months. I'm just saying. Anyways, so Christine has fully admitted she didn't give Robyn the warmest reception. understandable in my opinion. But she did try several times to mend fences, and I really cannot say the same for Robyn. In fact, there are a few things that viewers have noticed that Robyn has done to her non-biological kids that was pretty messed up, and had it been the other way around, it would have sparked outrage in Kody. I compiled 4 moments that I think really illustrate Robyn not being the most maternal figure to her non-biological children. Before we get into those, there is a Reddit thread that discusses this topic in depth. There's like hundreds of comments on it. So I will leave that linked down in the description if you want to participate in that discussion. I've made a couple videos about how Robyn has manipulated her own children. These 4 moments though, where Robyn made questionable parenting choices with her non-biological kids. We have to start off with the fridge note. I don't know how long Robyn has had a note on her fridge, or if she continues to have a note on her fridge, I have no idea. But the moment that viewers took notice was this moment in season 10, and it was the episode where Ari was born. So there is a note on the fridge telling whoever reads it to ask her or Mindy, the nanny, for permission before taking food. So apparently the reason why Robyn put this note on her fridge was because the teenagers were coming in and raiding her fridge. This is just such a Robyn move. You know what I mean? Make the kids that aren't your biological kids feel othered when they're in your home. Make sure that those kids, the kids of other moms, know their place. Robyn talks a lot throughout the series about viewing the kids just as much her kids. The grandkids are just as much her grandkids. She is Bubby after all, or whatever nickname she wanted to be called. But she goes to really great lengths to distinguish her family from the family. And Robyn, if you have money for a whole ass nanny, can you buy an extra pack of Sunny D for your fridge? I mean, come on. Did any of the other moms ever put a sign on their fridge? I can kind of see Mary doing that though. Also, at this time, Aspen was actually living at Robyn's house. Was she making Aspen ask for permission before she took anything out of the fridge? That would be so messed up. And could you imagine the fallout if Christine were to deny Robyn's kids full access to whatever they wanted in her home? That would not be pretty. Next, I want to talk about this moment from season 14. It was after they had just started settling in Flagstaff, and Robyn was caught in an interview referring to her non-biological kids as jerks.
To be honest, some of the kids have been jerks about their dad and him having kids and stuff like that. And
so at this moment, the family is extremely fractured. They went from the Vegas cul-de-sac, which honestly, in my opinion, was the most ideal setup for their family. But they went to where, you know, they could always just run across the street to see their dad. They could see their dad whenever they wanted. To now it's like a half-hour drive to see their dad, and you can't rely on dad to always come around because we know Kody is not good at managing his time, although he likes to say he does. So these kids are kids. If they're complaining that they don't see their dad enough, they're being kids, and Robyn is an adult. So name calling your, stepchildren, for lack of a better word, is pretty messed up. And may I point out that if it was Christine name calling Robyn's kids, the reaction to that would be apocalyptic. Next, I want to talk about this moment where Robyn kind of swats Truly away because Truly is trying to encroach on her looking at this present. Again, this just exemplifies how Robyn feels about her non-biological kids. I really feel like they're a nuisance to Robyn. Can you imagine the kinds of things that Robyn does or maybe says under her breath that are not caught on camera? Because usually when cameras are around, you're hyper aware that they're there. And I think you just are naturally inclined to act on your best behavior. And finally, I wanted to talk about this moment at Mykelti's wedding when Robyn did not want to bring her kids out for family photos because it was cold.
I think one of the reasons we were going to do them outside is because there's no room in here. There's no room.
It's really pretty.
Let's talk to
Can we please suck it up? I want them outside. Let's suck it up and let's get out there. Let's go.
Ready to do it? Try to load it. Okay, you sick or something?
She's not feeling well, and I've had 3 hours of sleep the last 4 nights. I'm just worried about him because it's so cold.
To be fair to Robyn here, it did look like it was freezing at McKelty's wedding. So I get not being thrilled at bringing your kids out for family photos. I got married in December, and after about an hour or so post ceremony when we were taking photos, you know, the sun had just gone down. It started to get pretty chilly, and me and my husband, we were over it. We just wanted to go back inside. So again, I understand Robyn's hesitancy, but this is a wedding. It's family photos. Sometimes, especially in a family of over 20 people, you just need to be a team player. Nobody is asking you to sacrifice your children to the elements. It's just a couple of family photos. There are a lot of examples. Like I said, that Reddit thread has hundreds of comments. So these are just 4. They're not even the top 4. These are just 4 that I wanted to talk about in this video. So if you want to talk about a moment that you noticed that Robyn was not exactly being mother of the year to her non-biological children, comment that down below. I cannot recall a moment that Christine ever really distinguished her kids from all the kids. I do remember the time when the adoption was gonna become official. She actually got really emotional that Dayton and Aurora and Brianna were gonna be officially Browns. She was crying. She was so excited. I mean, we've seen multiple moments where Christine has gone out of her way to make sure that all of the kids feel included, including Robyn's kids. It's actually far more frequent that we find moments that Robyn has either been kind of rude to her non-biological kids or definitely set out to distinguish them from the rest of the kids. You know, remember when Saul and Ari couldn't be more than a couple days away from Kody, but somehow it was not a problem that Kody spent 9+ months away from all his other kids? Kody accusing Christine of not being a good parent to Robyn's kids is, I think, the epitome of grasping at straws. His treatment of Christine pretty much their entire marriage, but especially these past few years, is indefensible. And him continually harping on her behavior being ultimately what turned him off just makes him look foolish. Let me know what you guys think down below. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Reality Squad, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Have a good one. Much love.